Welcome back. An ensemble cast of characters comes together with the help of their canine companions. Rick Damagella has a look at Dog Days.
What is it about dogs that brings us so much joy? Maybe it's because dogs are the most adorable creatures on the planet.
Dogs and humans prove they're an inseparable pair in Dog Days. The comedy drama follows a group of people who are brought together in Los Angeles by their adorable four-legged friends. How did the cast feel about their canine co-stars?
I really enjoyed it. I thought that the training staff on this movie was amazing, and it was kind of seamless.
Yeah, it was incredible. We're both such dog people, so I mean, I really looked forward to coming to set every day knowing my co-star is going to be a dog.
There were definite perks to filming in LA.
I got to go around different parts of Los Angeles that I enjoy and say, okay, let's shoot here because I think this is a great area. And we, I think we tried to represent all different parts of Los Angeles in this since we had so many storylines going on.
I also think that's why you have such a good cast when you shoot in LA. You have, people like Nina and Vanessa, and everybody can jump in and pop in, and it was easy.
Many of the cast members say they have furry friends at home.
I have Darla, who's a little terrier mutt with a little scrappy face and underbite, and she's thick. That's the thing I like about her.
I have Kanish, who is an 11-year-old, 50-pound mix of a million breeds that I adopted from Toms River, New Jersey. And she's a supermodel. She's like very leggy and tall and blonde.
My dog's name is Maverick. She is a Border Collie mix rescue mutt, and she's the love of my life. She's downstairs.
Maverick is my niece.
Yes.
That's
Her little face looks so angry and happy at the same time.
In Doggywood, I'm Rick Damagella.
Well, we thought it was time to nerd out again here on Sunrise, especially with the announcement of the new Star Wars cast for Star Wars Episode 9. We thought we'd bring in our in-house Star Wars expert, Alex Buck. Alex, good morning.
Thank you. Good morning to you. You might be overselling me on the Star Wars knowledge just a little bit,
You're
but
a big
I do
fan,
appreciate it. Yeah, I've been behind the scenes this week doing some weather stuff. Jacob Riley's been sort of taking over this morning, over the past couple of mornings at least, in the weather center. Things will be back to normal coming Monday, but wanted to sneak on air here on this Friday morning and talk a little Star Wars.
Yeah, we are glad to have you. Looking over this list here, a lot of familiar names from the other sequels. Daisy Ridley, Adam Driver, John Boyega, Oscar Isaac. So a lot of those people that you've been seeing in these other sequels are going to be in this one. But also Mark Hamill, they're bringing him back.
Right.
And the big name, the big one a lot of people talking about, Billy D. Williams.
Yeah, two big names there. Mark Hamill, interesting because, spoiler alert, for those of you who haven't seen Last Jedi, you might want to turn the volume off for a second, but Mark Hamill doesn't make it through the end.
Right.
So there's a lot of speculation as to what he might be doing in this new film. A lot of speculation he might be a Force ghost,
right.
But they could certainly do a flashback as well. So we'll see what his role is.
There are a lot of options there, and that's kind of what they did with Obi-Wan and Yoda in those originals. They were able to bring them back using sort of that Jedi ghost image, whatever you want to call it.
Right, and I think that's sort of the leading contender for what they might do. With Mark Hamill. Billy D. Williams reprising his role. That's a big piece of news there. Very excited to see him come back as Lando. Just in the past Han Solo movie, we saw Lando from a different actor. We saw Donald Glover portray Lando. Did a good job.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people are already sort of buzzing about that, so I think that gave them some encouragement to bring Billy D. back. And that's one of the things that really stood out about his characters. When you're talking about Star Wars, you're typically talking about, sci-fi, a little kind of geeky, nerdy, but they brought Billy D. Williams into that second movie, and he kind of just had this cool presence that gave it sort of a different feel, which was a great addition to the cast, I thought.
Absolutely. One of the coolest guys in the Star Wars franchise. It'll be good to have him back.
Very, very true. I was also going to ask you, too, how much you thought how important it was to have that cast of the original Star Wars and sort of the difference it made in the movie. Like, would the original Star Wars have been as successful without Harrison Ford, without Carrie Fisher, without Mark Hamill, having someone else play those parts?
I don't think so. All of those actors seem really perfect. I would say especially Harrison Ford for Han Solo. It's just amazing casting. And, what's interesting with these newer films is it's sort of been a handoff, a passing of the torch. And for Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, and Carrie Fisher, the idea was for each of these three films to sort of be a handoff in their own way. Obviously, with the unfortunate passing of Carrie Fisher, this film's going to have to do some workaround, but there's still, at least allegedly, this is still going to be a very Leia-centric film. They are going to have Leia in this film. and use footage of Carrie Fisher they already had.
Right, which is going to be sort of groundbreaking, I would say, in the film world. But they already had this story sort of outlined before her passing. And when they started making it, started bringing back the sequels in general, they sort of had, I think, this plan of how they were thinking it would go.
Yeah, and J.J. Abrams, who directed the first film, had a lot of this footage, and he's thankfully directing this film, so he's going to be able to use some of that footage they didn't use of Carrie Fisher and hopefully make this work, but it's certainly a challenge for him. Excited to see all of the new cast coming back. You know, they've done a very good job, I think, so we'll see how this last film works out.
Right, exactly. They've used a lot of good actors. Oscar, Isaac that you see there, and Adam Driver, both sort of renowned, really dramatic actors that they brought in, so some high quality. Really quickly, I was going to ask you, too, what do you think the future of Star Wars looks like? After they finish these 3 sequels, do you think they'll continue? What do you think it's going to look like?
Well, Disney spent a lot of money to acquire Star Wars, so this will not be the last set of films by any stretch. They might try to go back to the one-offs, or we might see another trilogy in the works.
As it continues to make that money, I'm sure they're going to keep popping them out.
Absolutely.
Alex, we appreciate you chiming in, buddy.
Thanks. Thanks for having me.
All right. Let's send it over to another meteorologist, Jacob Riley. Jacob.